So what exactly are your power rankings for this upcoming season?
It feels like it's in flux because of everything we've been talking about, but Golden State starts on top, right? Because the champions get to start on top, barring, Mark Cuban blowing up the Mavericks back in 2010. Back then. Boston second, who I think had a fantastic offseason.
Yeah, amazing.
I think that they got smart moves. They got better. Milwaukee third because I thought they were maybe the best team, second best in the league last year. Certainly third, and they get Chris Middleton back and healthy. Didn't really make a lot of changes. I have the Clippers fourth.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
I'm really high on them. I'm betting on Kawhi Leonard's knees. If Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are healthy, that is they've rounded out that roster beautifully, right? Like they want to go big, we can play with Zubats. You want to go small, we can play Marcus Morris at the 5 and Kawhi at the 4 and Paul George at the 3. And we've got shooters in Kennard, and they've got Beverly to go out and get John Wall to help run the point. Robert Covington is there. You can go on and on down the list. This is a deep, versatile roster. If Kawhi is back to being Kawhi, I genuinely believe this team has a shot to win it all, which is a
weird. And their owner, I mean, they're willing to spend too.
Yeah, yes. They will have a bigger tax. They are set as currently constructed. They would actually have a bigger tax bill than the Warriors, who set the record last year. They would have a slightly bigger tax bill, to which I believe Steve Ballmer's reaction is, "Meh."
Who's fifth?
Oh, I'm sorry. After that comes Memphis, taking a step forward. Do you think, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Number 6, Philadelphia, who we talked about. I think had a really good offseason. We talked about with House and Tucker and stuff. We were just talking about them. At 7, I have at Phoenix. They're still going to be very good. They won the most games last year. This might be the little low for them, but how happy is DeAndre Ayton? Really? Can they smooth everything over? Does Chris Paul keep playing at the level? Do they stay healthy? I think a lot of things went right for them to win 64 games. I'm not sure that they're capable of doing that again, but they're certainly 7th might be too low. And I kind of feel the same way about Miami at 8. They really the East last year. They run everybody back. They could be better. Tyler Hero could take a step forward. This might be a little low for them. They do lose PJ Tucker, but I think that they're going to be very good. It almost feels like a disappointing offseason for Miami, doesn't it? Because
after last year when they got Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, they didn't land Durant. They haven't landed Durant yet. They haven't landed Mitchell. They've been in the mix for those. If they don't get those guys, it weirdly feels disappointing, even though they're going to run back to the top of the East. So they're going to be very good. Whether they can really compete with Boston, Milwaukee remains to be seen. At Denver, healthy, Murray, Michael Porter Jr., obviously Jokic, good role players around them. I think that they are capable of getting in the mix in the West. And number 10, Minnesota.
Wow.
I think didn't they get better? I mean, they got Rudy Gobert. They actually add Kyle Anderson. They got good role players around there. Brent Forbes, I think, is there. They add good role players and veterans and some defense around Karl Anthony Towns, who they extended. Ant should take it. Ant, by the way, talk about guys who look good and hustle. He's ready to take a step forward. I think that I'm not sure that they're built for the playoffs, but I think they're going to win a lot of regular season games, Corey.
I think. What about didn't the Bulls re-sign Levine? You don't think they're close, or the Cleveland Cavaliers? None of those other teams in the East pique your interest?
Cavaliers, I might have too low. I have the Bulls and Cavaliers kind of in the mid-teens. Did the Bulls take a step forward? I think the thing is they were, and again, maybe I'm sleeping on them because I'm thinking of the second half of the year. The first half of the season, when Lonzo Ball was healthy and Alex Caruso was healthy, their defense was good, right? They were disruptive. They caused problems. They were tied into February. And close to the All-Star break, they were tied for first or in first place. They were in the East. They had a great season. And they did it without Patrick Williams, right? Yeah. Who I think if he's healthy, he could be a real force and a factor for them. So I might be sleeping on them. Cleveland could be taking a step forward too. But that's kind of where I've got it now. I feel like there are a lot of teams, and Denver's in there, Minnesota's in there. There's a lot of good teams with some questions that I'm really curious to see how it shakes out when the games start getting played.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise for me is Dallas. Where's Dallas? I feel like, to me, I mean, I would put Dallas over Minnesota, and then the other one that I would be like a little interesting to me. I was surprised, and not in the top 10, but I always want to mention healthy Zion, CJ
Yep.
McCollum. New Orleans is looking interesting, not top 10, but intriguing. But to me,
I,
Dallas not making the list is shocking.
they're one of those teams that could be very well be top 10 if everything comes together for them. And we talked about the importance of leadership. How much does CJ McCollum mean to that team? How does having that guy in front of them? I think it's a huge plus. I think they're there. I think with Dallas, I have them 11th, but I think this is where losing Brunson hurts. Like, I think they'll be good in the regular season because Luka and 5 out, and like they know who they are, they know what they want to do. They have an MVP level player, but I think not having Brunson ultimately hurts them a little, especially if Luka has to miss, sprains a finger and misses a week and a half or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, anytime I get a chance to hear what you think about, the power rankings, it's always a great pleasure for me because I'm sitting here, I'm going to be back eating that pizza, back at the museum, going through going through your list and thinking through it.
Yeah, it's so much this year, point of the year, it's so much opinion on what could be and how many questions there are because, eventually there'll be data. Eventually there'll be wins and losses and actual information. But right now it's kind of like a mix of how good do I think they are and how was their offseason.